Hey, hello everyone. Shalom, shalom. Everyone come on in the room. We are, I think I'm good. I think I told everyone to come on in. Yes, I'm a little bit today, only because I'm not by myself. Of course, I have the Ruach, but I'm live streaming today by myself, but I see my sister Nashawn is on chat. So I feel better in case I need her. I'm sorry for the little mess on my husband's desk. Usually y'all don't see that because somebody's sitting here. So yeah, I can't cover it up. I went the wrong way anyway. But anyway, welcome to story time. Story time. Story time. You know, we still got to get the name in there. Okay, and so today we will be reading from our Sefer, but as you know, before we start our reading, we're still on the Wisdom of Solomon. We read another scripture, and so today I am going to we're going to do Psalms 27. Okay, Psalms 27. Yahuwah is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Yahuwah is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? When the wicked, even my enemies and my foes, came upon me to eat up my flesh, they stumbled and fell. Though a host should encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war should rise up against me, in this will I be confident. One thing have I desired of Yahuwah, that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of Yahuwah all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of Yahuwah, and to inquire in his temple. For in the day of evil, this is what's wrong. For in the day of evil, he shall hide me in his cook-off, and it's the tabernacle. So you pronounce it the same day as the Feast of Tabernacles, the real how you say it, but I just don't know how. So that's how it's pronounced today. In the secret of his tabernacle shall he hide me. He shall set me upon a rock. And now shall my head be lifted up above my enemies round about me. Therefore will I offer in his tabernacle sacrifices of joy. I will sing, yea, I will sing praises unto Yahuwah. Hear, O Yahuwah, when I cry with my voice. Have mercy also upon me and answer me. When you said, seek my face, my heart said unto you, your face, Yahuwah, will I seek. Hide not your face far from me. Put not your servant away in anger. You have been my help. Leave me not. Neither forsake me, O Elohai of my salvation. When my father and my mother forsake me, then Yahuwah will take me up. Teach me your way, O Yahuwah, and lead me in a plain path because of my enemies. Deliver me not over unto the will of my enemies, for false witnesses are risen up against me, and such as breathe out cruelty. I have fainted unless I have believed to see the goodness of Yahuwah in the lands of the living. Wait on El Yahuwah, be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart. Wait, I say, on El Yahuwah. So wait on him. Wait on Yahuwah. Don't think about your enemies. We have a lot of enemies right now going on in the world. Don't even think about them. Just wait on Yahuwah. He's our strength. He's going to be there for us. He is not going to forsake us. He's our light. Who shall we fear? We have the Creator, the one who knows all, sees all, does all powerful on our side. Just stand Torah. Okay, so we are reading. Hello, Shalom, everyone. We are reading from our Sefer. We're going to continue from yesterday. We are in the Wisdom of Solomon. For those of you who have a Sefer, we're on page 1146. In case yours is a little different, we're in the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4. And we left off on verse 7, but I'm just going to start at the top of chapter 4 and go down. And right now we see that Solomon is talking to us. Put yourself in the room. He's talking to us about how the world is and how the world's going to be. And as we see, it's lining up to what is going on with us right now, what our enemies are doing to us and have been doing to us for a long time. And we see this right on point because the world ain't changed. Satan don't change. He the same old little demon. He is not original. He don't have no new ideas. He just keep doing the same thing over and over. And why not if we keep falling for it? But our grandpa Solomon is telling us, just listen to me. We'll be all right. Okay, let's start. I don't think I left anything out from the beginning, but I did. We finna start. We're getting ready to start anyway. Okay, chapter 4, Wisdom of Solomon. Better it is to have no children and to have virtue, for the memorial thereof is immortal, because it is known with Elohim and with men. When it is present, men take example at it, and when it is gone, they desire it. It wears a crown and triumphs forever, having gotten the victory, striving for undefiled rewards. But the multiplying brood of the wicked shall not thrive, nor take deep rooting from bastards' lips, nor lay any fast foundation. For though they flourish in branches for a time, yet standing not last. They shall be shaken with the wind, and through the force of winds, they shall be rooted out. So basically, he's saying your children are a memorial to you, and it's better you don't even have any if they're going to run around acting crazy, spreading craziness in the world, because that's your legacy. So he says, now, I know some of you, some people, you've taught your children right, and you've taught them how to act. Once you've done that, it's on them because they're grown. They have a decision to make. But he said, bring your children up in Torah. Bring them up honorably. And the scriptures tells us that when we do that, they won't forget. They may not do what you said, but they still remember what you said. Verse 5. The imperfect branches shall be broken off, their fruit unprofitable, not ripe to eat, yea, meat for nothing. For children begotten of Torahless beds are witnesses of wickedness against their parents in their trial. So I think some of you remember, I'm trying to remember, I want to say it was Tobiyahu, but it could have been another one. But it's one of the more recent ones. We read how when you go to judgment, if you've been doing your children wrong, they're going to be there to witness against you. That's why it says, for children begotten of Torahless beds are witnesses of wickedness against their parents in their trial. So when your trial comes up, if you've been mistreating your children, if you haven't done the right thing, your children are going to testify against you. They're going to do it. And you know right now, if you do too much in your house, and if you got a 2-year-old or 3-year-old that can half talk and don't really know what's right or wrong, all they know is what they see. Y'all know, you've seen a lot of it in Sunday school when they ask them children to get up and talk, and they get to telling on how their mama might have left them in the house, or they mama was drinking or their mama was partying or they get to say the wrong word, you know your children will bust out and do that because they don't know. They be 2, 3, 4 years old just learning how to talk. They just saying what they see in the house. To them, they ain't telling or snitching. It's just what they see. And then you try to get mad at the child. Why? The child does not understand what you're mad at because they're just talking about what they see. So raise your children up in Torah. Don't be doing crazy stuff around them because that I'm grown, I can do this and you can't, don't work when they little because they don't understand. They're learning by what they see and what they hear. That's how they learn. So if you want to teach them cuss words, cuss in front of them, but don't get mad. If they at church or anywhere in some public place and they start cussing just like you do, they cuss some lady out because that's what they heard you do. They learned that from you. They don't know what's wrong or right. And we try to rush them away, talking about you gonna get it when you get home, because they're gonna be looking at you like, what? What did I do? Because you did it. You need to be giving yourself a whooping. That's who need a whooping. Okay. Oh, I see a button. Let me make sure. Yeah. I don't need my glasses when I read, but I need it when I read these. Oh, yeah. Raise the children in Torah. Raise them in Torah. Okay. Verse 7. But though the righteous be prevented with death, yet shall he be in rest. So he says, even though the righteous, they want to kill the righteous, which we all know they really want to do. They want to kill the righteous. It says it doesn't matter because he's going to be in rest. And we read about all the saints who they were getting sawn in half and rocks thrown at them, and they don't even feel it. And people sure don't feel it once they leave here. They're not begging to come back and get tortured all over again. They ain't even going to remember it. Verse 8. For honorable age is not that which stands in length of time, nor that is measured by number of years. But wisdom is the gray hair unto men, and an unspotted life is old age. So it's saying we're around here thinking that is how many years you lived on the earth, but he says, honorable age is not that which stands in length of times. It's what you do at the time you are here. So let's say you live to be 30, but you had a whole bunch of wisdom. You're wise. You're an old man. You don't have to wait till you're 70. You could be 70 and still get drunk. Everybody got a drunk uncle in their family. He might have passed away because some of us are up in age, but everybody had a drunk uncle that was old. Or maybe it was your grandpa, maybe it was your auntie. Everybody has somebody in their family that just acted up, no matter how old they were. That even some of the teenagers will be like, man, they still acting like that? Still acting like a child? Still out in the world getting drunk, acting crazy? Solomon said, it has wisdom, all that has nothing to do with how long you've been here. Gray hair is wisdom. Wisdom is your gray hair. Because we all know a 25-year-old can be more wise than a 50-year-old, depending on who's keeping the Torah and who's not. Verse 10, he pleased Elohim, talk about the one with the wisdom, and was beloved of him, so that living among sinners, he was translated. Yea, speedily was he taken away, lest that wickedness should alter his understanding or deceit beguile his soul. He's saying Yahuwah takes some people away from here early. To us, it's early. But he said he's taken away speedily, lest that wickedness should alter his understanding, because Yahuwah knows what's coming down the road. So he says some people, I put them in the world for a short amount of time. For us, we're thinking they may just be 30, 35, maybe 25, but they had a whole lot of wisdom while they was down here. He said that's their gray hair. They lived a full life. They did everything told them to do. They did what was required. They finished their assignment. They are wise. They have gray hair. I'm taking them home. They're done. So don't, because a lot of times I think they're so young. They're too young to have left here. And you was like, no, you too old to be down there and still acting crazy. So don't follow that Torah. It don't matter if they're young or they're old, because a lot of times we try to use that verse. You know, the one in the Ten Commandments. Honor your father and mother, that your days may be long upon the earth. You think just because you obeyed your mama and daddy, or you did honorably by them, or you gave them money every month, that you're going to live for a long time. It don't mean that. It don't mean that. That's not what it means. Did you honor them for real? Did you listen to their wisdom? Did you follow Torah? And if you died when you 25 and you did all that, that's, and I'm not saying it's a good thing. Well, it's a good thing. You're in a much better place. Okay. Verse 12. For the bewitching of wickedness obscures things that are honest, and the wandering of lustful desires undermines the simple mind. He, being made perfect in a short time, fulfilled a long time. So it says, even though he was here, certain people are here a short time. If they followed Torah and all this stuff was coming at them, but they still followed Torah, they lived here a long time. They lived here a long time. So it doesn't matter. I knew a young man. I'm just gonna call him my cousin just because he kind of grew up as my cousin, but he's not real. He had some kind of ailment. I can't remember what it was, but he was like a teenager when he found out. But people before he even found out he was one, he was like in church all the time, and people would tease him all the time because he would openly admit, I'm a virgin. I'm saving myself for when I get married. And people would literally tease him, and he did not care. He did not care. He left. Matter of fact, when he left here, he was a virgin, never knew a woman. And he was he was like, no, he was still a teenager, I think, when he left here. If he wasn't, he was in his early 20s. He didn't care. He had better quality of life than some people that's been here for 60 years. And you just been sleeping around or doing toilet stuff, and some of your life you spent in jail, some of it you spent on drugs, some of it you spent chasing women all around the place. You were doing all these things that wasn't bringing fulfillment, but yet in his 20-something years, if he even made it to 20, I just can't remember, he lived in peace. He lived in peace. Who had the better quality of life? So he said, some people you would just go, come on, just come out of that wicked world. Just come on home. So stop. We always say age ain't nothing but a number. It's not. Age is a number. Did you follow, and are you following Torah? And are you doing what Yahuwah told you to do? Because Yeshua was only on this earth, how long? 30, 33 years? He did what he had to do, gone. It's your quality. Let me read some of your comments. Yep. Wisdom is based on one being willing to be humble before Yah, not age. You too old to be old and still doing it. Yes, people are still playing the fool and they still old. Quality over quantity, yes. 33 years, I assume you're talking about Yeshua. You're telling me he was 33. I forgot where I was. Verse 15. This the people saw and understood it not, neither lay they up this in their minds, that his grace and mercy is with his Kodashim, and that he has respect unto his chosen. He said sometimes people just don't get it. They don't get it. His grace and mercy is with the Kodashim, us. His grace and mercy is with us. He knows who's going to do what, who's coming later. We know about his grace and mercy if we just look at our life, our past life, how he brought us through. How even when we thought we were doing right, when we thought we were following laws, when we were in Christianity, he brought us through. When we were living as sinners, he brought us through. When we were living what we thought was the right thing to do, he brought us through. Grace and mercy is with the Kodashim, is with the called out assembly all over the world. Okay, verse 16. Thus the righteous that is dead shall condemn the wicked which are living. And youth that is soon perfected the many years has soon perfected the many years and old age of the unrighteous. So he said the righteous that are dead condemn the wicked that are living. Because you think about it and you go, man, he lived a better life than I do. Here I am. I'm about to die. I got all this sickness from doing all this stuff I wasn't supposed to do. I done got shot 3 times. I done did all this stuff I wasn't supposed to do. And when I think of just the things that they did and what they said to me, their quality was much more than I. But the righteous that are dead shall condemn the wicked that are living. You think people didn't think about my cousin and the way he lived once he left here? Like, wow. He was really serious about he was really serious about living the right life. And so it condemns other people. That's why, truth be told, a lot of people don't like being around us because our very lifestyle condemns them. Verse 17. For they shall see the end of the wise and shall not understand what Elohim and his counsel has decreed of him, and to what end Yahuwah has set him in safety. Because he gone. You're not going to understand that. If you're not operating under Torah, because the only reason why we understand it is because we got left some books. We got left some witnesses. So we can understand it a little bit because we never saw it, but we got left some witnesses. So we understand, but the unrighteous don't get it. Like, why are they so happy? Why they call it a homegoing? Why they looking at this? We ain't throwing ourselves on people's caskets, casting ourselves into the grave. They grave for some drama. I don't see some drama. We ain't doing all this drama at their funeral and at their homegoing. We ain't doing all this drama. We ain't trying to be, grab all their flowers, be the first one to put dirt on them, or just trying to speak. They tell us 2 minutes and you get up and speak for 20 minutes because you trying to convince people how tight y'all were. And the family in there going, who is that? Who is that? Who is that? Anybody know who that is? All for sure, because now you feel some type of way. No, don't work like that. Verse 18. They shall see him and despise him, but Elohim shall laugh them to scorn, and they shall hereafter be a vile carcass and reproach among the dead forevermore. Don't worry about the unrighteous. It's nothing you can do. Everybody have a chance. So pray for everyone right now while they still got breath. Witness to them now while they still have breath. But once they're gone, they're gone. We read about all those judgments. Once they're gone, they're gone. You just make sure you're in Torah. You make sure you know where you're going. Verse 19. For he shall rend them and cast them down headlong, that they shall be speechless. And he shall shake them from the foundation, and they shall be utterly laid waste and be in sorrow, and their memorial shall perish. And when they cast up the accounts of their sins, they shall come with fear, and their own iniquity shall convince them to their face. In other words, judgment day, your own sins are going to judge you. You ain't no witnesses coming in that courtroom but you and your lifestyle. They're gonna pull up your accounts, and your own life, your own iniquities shall convince you to your face that you were a sinner. You're gonna have to acknowledge that Yeshua is Yeshua, and then you up out of there. You don't even get to stay. It ain't no, but I said I'm sorry now. Ain't none of that. Your own sins are gonna convict you. You're gonna be in sorrow. So I advise you to repent right now and get it over with. Admit you was wrong. Get your whooping right here. Don't wait till you dead to get your whooping. Get it right here while you alive. You can repent. Get your woman. Get your woman. Get your whooping. Go cry. Do whatever you need to do. Then you're going to be all right. Okay. Let me see if there's any comments. Yep. Work out your own salvation. Your own life will tell on you. Your own life is going to tell on you. Don't nobody need to go into the room and be a witness. Your own life is going to tell on you. Okay. Chapter 5. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him. And made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. And they, repenting and groaning for anguish of the Ruach, shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. So when your enemies see you at the end times, they are going to wig out. When they see that so they see the righteous stand in great boldness before the face of, you have to stand in their face. And when they see the ones that they have afflicted, they're going to be troubled and terrified with fear, because they're like, oh no, that person is going to have something to say, knowing how you treated them and knowing there's nothing you can do to take that back, because they left here. All those people that's going around killing us, murdering us now and in the past, when they stand before us, unless they repented, we saw what happened with Pharaoh. Unless they repented, when they stand and they see us, they're going to be terrified. They're going to be like, oh no, what did I do? And they're going to be repenting and groaning for anguish. This was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach. This is the person we didn't treat so nicely. I'll put it that. But this is the person we tortured. This is the person we killed. This is the person we blamed for things he or she did not do. This is the person we cut open and took her baby out of her while she was still alive. These are people we tricked into slavery. These are the people we beat. These are the people we made their interest loans so high. These are the people we left out of all these things. And they're going to be in anguish, because now they have to stand and see us in our righteous state. We're going to be all glowing, and they're going to be all in the flesh, looking sad, because they didn't want to listen, because they want to be mean. Verse 4, we fools accounted his life madness, and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of Elohim, and his lot is among the Kodashim? Therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness has not shined unto us, and the brilliance of righteousness rose not upon us. We wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yea, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way. But as for the way of Yahuwah, we have not known it. They're saying we have erred from the way of truth and right. It hasn't shined on us. We've erred away from it. We went through the desert. There was no way. But as a way of Yahuwah, we have not known. We wasn't paying no attention to all that Yahuwah stuff. And we told y'all God, quote, God, unquote, was white. What y'all doing? Because we know Christianity, the Ku Klux Klan is in Christianity. They hanging people. Some of them know better. Some of them was brought in and that's what they were taught. But I have to think that once you got older, you knew better. Even if you were taught it as a kid, there's something inside of you that says, this ain't right. You can say it wasn't all you want, but you knew. You knew. Even when you was a kid, you knew. When you got to a certain age, you knew. You knew someone right. Verse 8. What has pride profited us? Or what good has riches with our vaunting brought us? So now when they get to the end, they're going to be saying, we had all that pride. What good is it to us right now? We had all our riches and we flaunted it with everybody, and we had all these big cars and we had all these designer clothes, because all clothes are designer clothes. Somebody designed it. We had all these expensive clothes and cars and homes, and we used to flaunt it all in front of you guys. But what good is that now? Because what you got is way up here is way better than what we had down there. And now I gotta see it, because remember, they're gonna see it, but they're not gonna get to go in. He said, wow, what good did they're gonna think, what good did all that? Don't be in this crowd saying, what good did it do me to reject Yahuwah for that little bit of time I was down on earth? And now I gotta be forever in agony. And this person right here who accepted Yahuwah, who I tease, has this brand new body. Look how they look, and I'm still in my flesh, and I gotta get tortured. And they looking all good, got big old houses and stuff back there, all shiny. They all shiny. Get to spend it with Yahuwah, and I'm just still in my flesh, and I gotta leave. What good did it do me? What good is gonna do me? Telling you, stay in Torah right now, because you would want to not spend eternity looking crazy in your flesh, being tortured. Like I said, take your whooping for your sins right now. Repent. Stay in Torah. Stay under covenant instead of ending up like him, wishing you had. Verse 9. All those things are passed away like a shadow, and as a post that hasted by. He said that time went so quick. Like it seems like nothing, because compared to eternity, this little 70, 80, if you live to be 100, let's say you live to be 150. How does that compare to eternity? That. You was here just like that. And remember, to Yahuwah, 1,000 years to us is one day to him. So you ain't even lived to be, you was still an infant. You was here today and gone tomorrow. Verse 10, and as a ship that passes over the waves of the water, which when it is gone by, the trace thereof cannot be found, neither the pathway of the keel in the way. So you know how a ship goes and you can see where it cuts through the water, but pretty soon the waves cover it. And you be like, I don't know where which way the ship went. I know it just went that way. Which part of the ocean was, I don't know. It has some tracks, but then it's gone. Like you were here, then you was gone. 11, or as when a bird has flown through the air, there is no sign of her way to be found. But the light air being beaten with the stroke of her wings, and parted with the violent noise and motion of them, is passed through. And therein afterwards no sign where she went is to be found. So once a bird flies through the air, you can see it, but once it's gone, you can't see the path it took. It was here, it was gone. So that's how life is down here. It's here, then it's gone. Verse 12. Or like as when an arrow is shot at a mark, it parts the air, which immediately comes together again, so that a man cannot know where it went through. Even so, we, in like manner, as soon as we were born, began to draw to our end, and had no sign of virtue to show, but were consumed in our own wickedness. So he says, as soon as you're born, you start to die. That's crazy. As soon as you're born, you start to die because your bodies do decay slowly. As soon as you're born, the dying process now starts. That's why the word tells us, cry when they come in here, rejoice when they leave. They born into sin. They born into it's like when you drive your car off the lot. As soon as you drive your new car off the lot, that price goes down on that car. You done drove it off the lot. Price goes down. Not worth. It ain't worth the price you paid for it as soon as you pull out the parking lot. And you ain't even paid for the car yet. That's life. Because you were consumed in your own wickedness. Verse 14. For the hope of the wicked is like dust. It's like a dust that is blown away with the wind, like a thin froth that is driven away with the storm, like as the smoke which is dispersed here and there with a tempest, and passes away as the remembrance of a guest that tarries but a day. That's so the hope of the wicked is just gone. It's like a guest that came to visit you. They came for one day and then they was out. Or like the smoke, or like a storm. You know how smoke is. Smoke is in the air and then it's gone. You be like, where did smoke go? It's gone. It's like a vapor. Everybody knows what a vapor is. You know what steam is. You know it's here, then it's gone. You can't go looking for the steam, like, where'd it go? And find it. You can't. It's gone. That's how your life is. And when you wicked, it's going to seem even shorter because you were wicked. You were wicked, and now you got to get judged in your flesh. You got to get tortured in your flesh. Your judgments are going to be in your flesh, and it's going to last forever. And when you compare that to the time you have now, here gone, here gone, here gone, like steam. 15, but the righteous live forevermore. Their reward also is with Yahuwah, and the care of them is with El Elyon. Therefore, they shall receive a glorious kingdom and a beautiful crown from Yahuwah's hand. For with his right hand shall he cover them, and with his arm shall he protect them. So the righteous, we live forever. We got a reward coming. We get a crown from Yahuwah's hand, puts a crown on us. His arm is going to protect us, cover us. So we're being covered here, and we're being covered. Like, it's all good. It may not seem like it because we're following Torah and we have to suffer all these things, but we're still being protected. We have something to look forward to. We can wake up the next day knowing we're going to be all right. Other people, they have no hope. That's why some of them jump off buildings. Like whenever markets crash and people think they don't have no money, they ain't stopping to think, oh, that money wasn't real anyway. They just, oh, I'm broke. People's jumping out of windows, killing themselves, shooting themselves just because they didn't have no money. Well, if you have some money, where did it come from? Did you not make it? The money, can't you just go, make some more money? But they couldn't just stand. I don't have no, I'm a nobody. They think they're nobody over money. No, don't work like that. Don't do that. Don't get caught up in those things. I lost my place. What verse was on, y'all? Here I am right here. Okay, verse 17. He shall take him He shall take to him his jealousy for complete armor, and make the creature his weapon for the revenge of his enemies. Oh, he gonna use us to avenge him from his enemies. That's why we know a fight is coming. We know that. We just gonna be ready. Whatever he wants us to do, he's gonna use us some kind of way. Whatever he wants us to do, we ready. That's why we need to stay in Torah, so we won't do it. Go out on our own doing stuff. 18. He shall put on righteousness as a breastplate and true judgment instead of a helmet. Whoa. He shall take holiness for an invincible shield. His severe wrath shall he sharpen for a sword, and the world shall fight with him against the unwise. Then shall the right aiming thunderbolts Then shall the right aiming thunderbolts go abroad, and from the clouds as from a well drawn bow, shall they fly to the mark. We heard about those thunderbolts, and you know we always say, God gonna strike you, let me move. We don't need to move. He got aim. He said he got aim the thunderbolts. Verse 22, and hailstones full of wrath shall be cast at and hailstones full of wrath shall be cast as out of a stone bow, and the water of the sea shall rage against them, and the flood shall cruelly drown them. Yea, a mighty wind shall stand up against them, and like a storm shall blow them away. Thus iniquity shall lay waste the whole earth, and ill dealing shall overthrow the thrones of the mighty. That he says, I'm going to take care of this. I'm going to judge. I got aim. I'm going to do it with him. I'm going to use the elements of the world to defeat the enemies. I got thunderbolts with aim. You could be standing right next to somebody. Thunderbolt come. If you're standing by somebody get hit by lightning, they the one got hit by the lightning. He says, I'm using all that, and the arrow that hits them, it's gonna be like it came from a stone bow. So that gotta hurt. He gonna use the water. He gonna use the wind. He gonna use the thunder and lightning stuff from the clouds. And it says he got aim. He got thunderbolts. Don't one of those I don't know, those superheroes have thunderbolts? I don't know which one, but again, they still are our stuff anyway. So he says he's going to overthrow the mighty. He's going to lay waste the whole earth. He will do these things. We don't need to do all that. He's the one that's going to do it. Okay, let me look at some of the comments because there's a bunch. Oh, you are here but not remembered. Yeah, we do. We have nothing to, they have not, we have something to look forward to. They have nothing. Oh, okay, Brother Hector. Hallelujah. Thor. Thanks, Brother Abram. I knew you would know. Thor had them thunderbolts. Oh, it wasn't Thor? Yeah, because he was like one of the gods. And I mean that in the, in their sense. I think Thor was one of their gods. He had those thunderbolts. See how they copied everything from us? Even they comic books and then they movies, and they just take everything out. No wonder, that's another reason why I see they took out a bunch of our books. All their little movie characters is based on them. They know we will be back and like, y'all stole that from our scriptures. Thunderbolts. That's Yahuwah. That ain't y'all. That's Yahuwah with them thunderbolts. All right. Chapter 6. Oh, Zeus. Oh, Zeus. Okay, go ahead. Abram now. They just take everything. But Yahuwah said, I'm sending thunderbolts. I'm sending hail. I'm using the water. I command all these things. not your little Greek gods, not your little comic books. Y'all just talking about me. Chapter 6. Hear therefore, O ye kings, and understand, learn, ye that be judges of the ends of the earth. Give ear, and come back tomorrow to hear the rest. So what is he going to give us ear to hear? We're going to come back tomorrow and see what's going on. So as we can see, ain't nothing changed. Nothing has changed in the world. Yahuwah is still Yahuwah. The unrighteous going to be unrighteous, but their end is not going to be good at all. Their end's not going to be good. So don't be so caught up. So from now on, when you look at these things, I know Abram is really good with this. When you look at these movies, Avengers and all that stuff comes from the scripture. All of that comes from the scripture. So when you look at it, look at the parallels. Look at what they did to try to take the glory away from Yahuwah and put it on they Greek gods. And because all their gods are really the same. They're just called by a different name in different countries. They tried to take all of Yahuwah's characteristics and give it to their God, which is still Baal worship. It's still Baal. When it all comes down to it, it's still Baal worship. It's still from ancient Egypt. It's still from the watchers that came down, Azazel, and all them. And it's still from Lucifer. Hasatan. Hasatan again is the title, so we naming names. It's Simjaz in them. I call them Simjaz in them. All them little fallen angels. All of them is from them. It's from Lucifer. It all goes back to them trying to be like the Most High, but you ain't. You're not. You're not the Most High. You're trying to be like them. Hence the word ish, Jewish. Trying to be like the Most High people, but you're not. You either are or you're not, and you're not. That's why you got to ish. Always trying to be like us. So we see the wisdom of Solomon. Nothing changed. Nothing. So we will see you tomorrow. Wait, tomorrow is Thursday. So we'll see you tomorrow at 5 because we know we have our Enoch discussion at 6. And we will find out the rest of what our grandpa Solomon had to say. So with that, no matter what they do to win, they show inevitably lose. Deshaun, you would have to give me a word like that. Period. Right. Yes, they're fighting a losing battle. Hey, Sister Cammie. Praise Yah. Okay, with that, we will shalom, and we will see you tomorrow. Shalom.